Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News Channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Hashtag Operation Dudula, which is the controversial movement that's been making headlines across the country. And now, as many of you know, this group has recently intensified its action, removing foreign nationals from workplace and effectively replacing them with unemployed South Africans. Now, on the surface, right, this sounds like a victory for South African workers, doesn't it? Unemployed South Africans, some of whom have been without work for years and finally being given a chance to take on jobs that were previously occupied by foreign nationals. But for many, this has been a long-awaited opportunity to put food on the table and to support their families and reclaim their sense of dignity. But here's where the story becomes more complex, right? The actions of hashtag Operation Dudula, while claiming to act in the interests of South African workers, have honestly sparked heated debate. Number one, is this really about the empowerment of South African, or is this a dangerous form of xenophobia that risks dividing the very fabric of our society? You see, there is no denying that unemployment is a serious issue in South Africa, especially among young people, but is the blame for our high employment rates really to be placed on the shoulders of our fellow Africans, people from Nigeria, from Zimbabwe, the DRC, Somalia, or Ethiopia? Or is there a deeper, more systematic issue at play? Now, as a Black South African, I can't help but wrestle with uncomfortable truth, right? While many may feel a sense of vindication in seeing foreigners being sent home and South Africans being given work, I think we really have to ask ourselves, why are we so quick to scapegoat our fellow Africans when the real enemy lies much closer to home? Now, earlier in the week, Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, actually addressed the nation on this very issue. And as expected, his words were undeniably challenging. And Malema reminded us that our real oppressors aren't the foreign nationals we're targeting in the streets, but rather those who control 85% of the wealth in this country. And no, it's not the Nigerians, it's not the Zimbabweans and the Somalis and the Ethiopians. It's the white minority. The same white minority that still owns the majority of South Africa's resources, businesses, land, and industries. These are the people who through centuries of colonialism and apartheid systematically stripped away our rights, our dignity, and our opportunities. And while we are out here fighting one another, they continue to actually thrive and consolidate their power. Now, with that being said, let's have a look at this video.
What do you mean? What do you mean? All the foreigners. It's not legal. Okay. Ningawafihli niwachaza amaforeigner ningawafihli. Sela umuntu oyi-1 start number yakhe aripote kuthi kuba ikhona enzeka emsebenzini aripote kuthi umuntu oyi-1 hayi bakhona bathu ningabafihli bawuyamazi bawuliforeigner angakhweli apha.
Now, Malema's words were not just a political jab. They were a call for us to reframe the narrative, and instead of focusing on the easy target, which in this case happens to be foreign nationals, we need to direct our anger, our frustration, and our energy towards those who have kept us in a state of perpetual poverty, inequality, and disenfranchisement. Now, the truth is South Africa's unemployment crisis, particularly among Black South Africans, has been decades in the making. And I believe it's a legacy of apartheid, yes. But it's also a result of the post-apartheid policies that have failed to address the root causes of economic injustice. And while the gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow, too many South Africans are left to fend for themselves in an increasingly competitive and underfunded economy. So, while Operation Dudula's intentions may have been to help South Africans reclaim their livelihoods, I believe we have to ask, is this really the solution? Is the answer to our economic woes more division and hatred, or is it true economic transformation that includes all South Africans, both Black and foreign nationals? Now, Julius Malema said it best, man. And I quote, he said, "Our real fight should be against those who have perpetuated the racial and economic inequality in our country. It's time to stop using the foreigners as scapegoats and recognize that our real struggle is to dismantle the system that keeps us at the bottom of the economic ladder."
Definition of a foreigner. A foreigner is a person who comes into your country without papers, doesn't have anything to show. That includes you. You are foreigners because you have nothing to show. You go around claiming this is your country. Let's go outside, show me papers that confirms you are the owner of this country. There's nothing. You don't own anything, yet you call people foreigners. You are a foreigner yourself because you do not own. Foreigners means visitors. Visitors are people who just come empty-handed with a small bag. When the time permits, they go. That's you. You are renting. You are marching from the hostels, beating up people that they must leave South Africa. Yet you do not own a hostel. You are paying a rent in that hostel. You can be removed yourself from that hostel. You are telling people to leave your country. You come from an apartment. You come from a flat. You come from a house. You have no paper. When you return back home after taking out Zimbabweans, the white man will be at the door showing you the way out of the rented flat, out of the rented house, out of the rented apartment. You have nothing to show. Yet you claim this is your country. You have nothing. You are defending a white man's property. This South Africa is owned by a white man. This South Africa is controlled by the white man. Don't tell me this is your country. When people are burning buildings, you are rushing protecting them. Those are not your buildings. Those are white man's buildings. You have nothing. Stop hating on your future employers. These people are going to hire you. They are the most polite people. Even when they are educated, they still work for small jobs that pay nothing. They don't have pride. They know that you have to work to serve and feed your families. That's why they are here. One day, like it almost happened in Cuba when Obama wanted to lift the embargo against Cuba. One day it is going to happen. I pray to the ancestors of the revolution that it happens when I'm still alive, so that I can replay these videos and say, I warned you about harassing your future employers. I warned you about exploiting the people who are going to share their land with you because they've done it before.
I do understand the frustration of South Africans. I see the pain of the unemployed, the anger of the forgotten, and the disillusionment that comes with being left behind. But turning on our brothers and sisters from across the continent really won't fix this. The real challenge here, I believe, lies in demanding a just economic system that benefits all of us, and not just the selected few. So you're probably asking, what do we do now, right? I think that we need to rethink our approach to economic justice. We need to prioritize policies that create jobs provide education and support local businesses. They're not ones that actually divide us. And also, most importantly, we need to face the truth, which is the fight for freedom. It's not just about removing foreign nationals from our shores, but it's about removing the systems that actually continue to oppress all of us. And I'll leave you with this thought. Let's not forget who the real enemy is here. Now, with that being said, please, let's continue to engage in the comment section. We really want to hear from you. What do you think about this incident? And while you're at it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet again, thank you so much for watching. It is goodbye for now.